what has been going on? I watched the admission scandal. What's that thing called? Documentary on Netflix. I actually finished watching it yesterday. Me and Femi watched it, and I was like one of those people. I'm pretty sure all of us was like one of those people who was just like, but we knew this though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we already knew that white people was paying for their kids to go to college. I just didn't really know that it was illegal. Like, that illegal. Like, one day I thought about it, like, is it really illegal? Like, is this somewhere in the clause? Like, I wish they would have spoke about that. Like, why was it something that was considered illegal? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did they consider that something that is, could get you jail time? But it was just interesting, like, watching them showing kids get excited to get into these schools, and then like showing like kids just crying because they didn't get into the schools. And it was just baffling to me what these rich white people be doing. And I was thinking the other day too, like, I was thinking while we were watching it, like, I remember like at one point in my life, I can't remember, I think while I was in college, I was like, all these white kids ain't fucking smart. Like, they be saying like, oh, money makes money and demographics is why a lot of these students are smarter and more intelligent. And I'm just like, all right, they might be a little bit smart or whatever, but I don't think all the motherfuckers are smart. All their asses be getting into Stanford. All their asses could get into Harvard. Like, rich white kids, they have access to partying and drugs and alcohol. Like, they're still teenagers at the end of the day. Like, whether you're white, black, orange, or gold, you're still a teenager. So I just feel like they are destined to get in trouble. They are destined to get caught up in boys and fuck up in school sometimes and cut school and be bad. It's just not maybe on a level of somebody who lives in, what do we call like this type of demographic where it's like, a low income demographic, I guess. That's the term I think of. Or whatever. It's like, I was thinking that like these kids are still just teenagers. You can't tell me all rich kids are smart. Because even all rich people ain't smart. A lot of times, it just takes the gift of gab to be rich. Sometimes you could be the dumbest person and still become an entrepreneur. Some people just know how to run their mouth. Some people know the right people. Like, I was just thinking that shit, like, I know these motherfuckers, all their asses ain't fucking smart. All these rich ass kids can't be smart. Like, let me make it clear too, just because you don't get into Harvard or Stanford or Georgetown or UCLA or USC or whatever these schools are, these Ivy League schools, it doesn't mean you're dumb either. So, like, even if I had the GPA, I probably wouldn't apply to no damn Harvard in the first damn place. Let's be honest. I don't know, because I'm thinking, like, if I was one of those type of kids, like, that was, like, really a genius, would I want to, like, go to an Ivy League school? I don't know. But it definitely wasn't a school that was in my mind. I could say that and say that with certainty. So, yeah, I was just thinking about that. And I was just thinking, like, yo, these parents really paid $15,000 for somebody to take a SAT over. Like, I get people be rich, but $15,000 for somebody to take a SAT for your kid is wild to me. Like, 15,000, not 1,500, 15,000. Bitch. And I don't know. So yeah, I watched that. I thought it was interesting. It was more interesting than I imagined, but I also thought it was silly too, because these people got like 5-month sentence, 3-month sentence. I'm like, if y'all was gonna give them that low of a sentence, not saying they deserve the big sentence, I'm just like, this shit shouldn't even make the motherfucking news. But I guess like rich white people like stuff like that, and like we kind of like adore stuff like that, because there's really kids that be going for blood just to get in these schools, and then they don't get into it. And it's just like, you could buy your way in. Why not? But child, yeah, that was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It kept my eyes on and plugged. Also, you just finished watching a clip from a podcast called Brit Says The Podcast. BRITTSAYS. If you want to watch that full episode, you can click right up here. And if you want to stream and listen to Brit Says The Podcast, this is available on all DSPs such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, DEEZER, iHEARTRADIO, anything you can imagine, you'll find Brit Says The Podcast. So go ahead out, listen, leave a review, and 5 stars. And while you're here, subscribe to my channel.